Don't worry about it. Good evening, everybody. I'm supposed to have um, Kenny Presley on. He was on just now, but I think he's left the building, maybe. Um, She'll be back on in a minute, I hope. In the meantime, let's play the induction. Hello, good evening, everybody, and welcome. I don't know where Kenny's gone, but I think he's. Are you there, Kenny? Hello, Kenny. Are you there? Hello. Okay, okay. I think.
All right. I got it now. Thank you. I think. Looks like it's frozen. No, it's not. I think we're good. All right, Steve, are you with me?
Yeah. Okay.
I'm not hearing. I don't have any sound.
Hello.
I don't have any sound or video.
You were okay just now. Hello, everybody. Good evening, and we're just trying to get Kenny on. So do not worry. We did have him on just now, but you know what they say, don't you? Is Elvis has left the building, and it will be back very shortly. So do not panic. If not, I'd have to sing. Hello, everyone. Hello, Kenny. How are
Hello,
you?
how are you? I finally got with you.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. It's one of those things we have all the time. Anyway, thank you very much for coming on. Thank you for your time.
Thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
Good. Um, why Elvis? Why Elvis?
Well, I grew up. I was born in '64. Of course, I grew up in that era, and I was exposed to Elvis, of course, at an early age as a young child, and I started singing in church when I was, oh Lord, 5, 6, 7 years old, and uh, I formed my first four-piece band when I was barely 11 years old, and that's what I started singing was Elvis songs, and I actually opened up the first Walmart that come to this area back in the day as Elvis. I had or doing Elvis tribute. I had like 2,000, 2,500 little screaming girls out there in the audience after me. It was awesome, but
God,
uh,
I'll be lucky to get one. Um, but the trouble is, see, I'm a great big Elvis fan. I'll tell you, if you ask anybody out there, I am an Elvis fan, and
absolutely.
sometimes I sing to my wife, but after the time my wife says, "Why don't you just shut up and give it a rest?" Sometimes, but sometimes she says, "You're okay," and sometimes I go on that channel, that smooth where you can kind of like go on there, you can kind of like sing with other people on there.
Right, right.
And I went on there the other day, and I was singing "Love Me Tender," and all of a sudden I had somebody else on there from a foreign country, from somebody somewhere else,
Hmm.
and and yes, it was an experience. Then she turned around to me. She said, "I do not like Elvis. Have
Well,
you
let me
got
tell you,
any? Yeah, have you got any Eddie Cochran?" And I thought, "That yeah, okay, don't worry, don't worry." But the trouble is, so see, with Elvis, everybody, lo- love Elvis's songs and his music. Do you reckon so?
I yes, as a whole, as a rule, they do, and I have found, in my whole career, my whole life, I've found, oh Lord, less than a half a dozen people that actually said, I just never did care for the guy, I never did like his singing. I ran into one lady in my whole life that I can remember that said, I didn't think Elvis was a good looking man at all, and it you kind of wonder if somebody actually believed that, because Elvis was probably the best looking man that ever walked.
Of course
He
it
was
was,
really a
yeah.
great looking guy. Jerry Reed said when he made it, of course, Jerry Reed played guitar on a couple of some of his tunes. And Jerry Reed, he said to himself, said, man, if you wasn't a dude, I'd marry you.
Yeah,
He was
yeah, I
just
know,
great.
yeah.
Elvis was a great,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, he was a great
Where,
looking guy, a great singer, great entertainer.
wherever he went, he attracted women. I remember I was watching a documentary about him ages ago in
Uh-huh.
when they were filming Blue Hawaii in Hawaii, and they actually locked him up for a little while because all the Hawaiian girls used to be knocking on his door and everything. His hotel
Well,
door.
absolutely. Well, I'll tell you a little secret. My wife and I has been married 28 years, and she was never an Elvis fan. She's my fan, but she's still not a big Elvis fan. But she loves to hear me sing, and everything I do, she loves about it. But she never was a big Elvis fan.
God, isn't that funny, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
My wife's an Elvis fan, but she's not a Stephen fan. She's not a Stephen fan at all. She'll start singing songs to her. She'll go, "Shut up." I tried. I tried singing songs. I'm not bad. Love me tender, love me.
Love me sweet.
Yeah, that's all right, baby. You know what I mean? Yeah. And she would just go, "Why don't you shut up?" Um, what is your favorite Elvis song?
Oh Lord, I've been asked that 1,000 times, and I honestly, uh, it would have to be one or two songs. It'd have to be either "If I Can Dream" or "Memories."
Oh, brilliant, isn't it?
Those are two great songs that Elvis did. "If I Can Dream" probably would be my favorite, because it's a great song. The lyrics are
Mm.
wonderful, and that was Elvis's song. And that song was written the day before he came on the '68 comeback special and recorded it. And of course, Elvis had an exceptional memory when it became, come to lyrics and like his movie lines. He'd remember his lines in a movie and everybody else's lines to go along with it. And
Mm.
I don't have that kind of memory. I can't remember 5 minutes ago, but Elvis was handed "If I Can Dream" the day before they filmed part of the '68 special, and he sang it. And that's really a wonderful song. I'd say that's probably my favorite song.
Yeah. Would you be able to sing a song for us?
Well, I'm not set up to. I would
All right.
love to. I'm sorry, but I didn't get set up for it tonight. I'm actually here in my studio, but it's all shut down. Um, I'd like to give you a tour sometime of my studio. It's plastered wall to wall Elvis and Kenny Presley on here. So
Oh, can you show us?
sure, I'll be glad to. Would you
Yeah,
like to see
go
it?
on. Yeah, plenty. I've got plenty of time,
Okay.
and
Well,
everybody else wants to as well. Look.
okay. Um, I wonder if I can turn this thing around. I'm not sure about that. Uh, you can just see behind me here. Uh, don't know how much you can actually see.
God, you got, and I just put it on widescreen for everybody.
Yeah, there you go.
Here you go. Look,
Uh,
hang on for a second.
okay.
Instead of me going on there. There
There
you
you
go.
go. There you go. All right. My this is my recording studio, and I do all my CDs in here. I've got Elvis pictures that folks have
God.
given me over the years. If you
What's
look
your
right down
favorite?
here, if you
What?
look right here, there's me with Sonny West and Dave Hebler. They work security for Elvis.
Oh
And if you
yeah,
look,
yeah.
yeah, if you look over here, there's me, Dr. Nick. That's Dr. Nicopoulos. That was Elvis's doctor, and that's my mother there.
All right.
All right. And this lady here that I'm with, she used to own the Western Steakhouse and Lounge in Memphis, Tennessee. Elvis used to go there with his crew at night and late at night, and they would open up and they'd cook. They had the best steaks in the world back in the day. I used to perform there too, actually. And of course, here's Elvis and the Memphis Mafia. And here's me, Miss Mary. She cooked for Elvis for 14 years. Mary Jenkins. I sang at her funeral in 2000, and that's my mother. And here's a better picture of us down here. All right, that's the lady that cooked for Elvis. She made the famous peanut buttered banana sandwiches there.
Have you ever met Priscilla Presley?
I have not. I have not. Now there's me with the Jordanaires. I was on.
All right.
I played with the Jordanaires. There's a big old poster of me. Stand up. And as you can see, this room's just full of Elvis.
What did your wife say about it? About you? About the studio?
She says, "You're going to clean it. I'm not." There's a picture of Elvis. That was his last concert right here, 6 weeks before he passed.
Hmm. You know when you said about his passing, about Elvis's passing,
Yes, sir.
you must have kind of like asked the doctor that question. Did he actually? What did he actually die? What was his? What did he die of? You must have asked him that, did you?
I did. I did. Elvis had a lot of health problems. Um, and to be honest with you, uh, his eating habits was a bad problem. Elvis had a twisted colon though on top of that, and so that was a big problem. It was hard on his heart, and he took too many prescription drugs. He everybody knows he abused those. A lot of entertainers do. That kind of life's hard on your body, and his heart just gave out. I mean, that's just the bottom line. His heart just gave up. So
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
I'm just showing everybody your messages you got messages here from everybody.
Okay, I can't see them. Let me get my glasses on. I don't. I
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
see. Yeah, I can't see any of the messages for some reason.
Yeah, you got Edwin, um, Haley Jones.
Okay, all right. I see. Hi, Moses.
Yeah.
That Moses is. They're referring to uh, my a fan club president. Her real name's Melinda, but everybody I call her Moses, and it's kind of picked up. So her real name is Melinda, and she's a fan club president, and her and her better half are really really close friends of mine. They're like family, and they kind of work with me. They don't work for me; they work with me. They're really really supportive.
All right. So you got a fan club then?
I do. I have a fan club, Kenny Presley Fan Club. They can go to it on Facebook. And anybody that's watching, it don't cost anything to join. Just type in Kenny Presley Fan Club on Facebook and join up. And I give away stuff about once a month. As a matter of fact, I'm due to give away something. It's usually a T-shirt, CD, things like that.
All right. Okay. Okay. And do you sign the CD as well then, do you?
I do. Everything I send out, I autograph.
Good, good. Um, Let me get back to the questions for a minute.
Yeah.
So when you kind of like when you're doing Elvis,
Hmm.
and even if it's on Facebook or if you're out gigging, so soon you'll be able to go back out again. We hope. You
Hmm.
know, um, do you get a lot of kind of like girls come up to you and going, and they kind of like take your shirt off you or whatever, you know? Do you get that?
Do I get a lot of girls?
Yeah,
Well, yeah, sometimes, it depends on the situation. Now we're doing a couple of shows at a theater in Philadelphia coming up in August, 20th, 21st, and actually the 22nd in around the Philly area. And in those theater settings, when you've got a full band on stage and full production, you get a lot of audience participation. It's a lot of fun.
yeah, yeah. I kind of feel like I think you're very good at what you do. I think you're excellent at what you do.
Thank you.
You know, what's the most embarrassing moment that you ever had?
Yeah, well, this
Now, come
honestly,
on,
this
come on.
uh,
I
th-
I
th-
ask every Elvis ETA this,
I
and they
can
all
tell you.
started laughing.
I can tell you. Okay, this was in 1993. It's been a while, and I was playing in Branson, Missouri, and in a theater. I had a daily show there in the theater, and this is true story. It sounds like an Elvis story, but it's a true story. So I'm doing Suspicious Minds, and I go down in my stance like Elvis would, and when I come back up, I'm singing, and the band is well. Actually, I see the audience laughing, and I'm thinking, what did I mess up? I screwed something up. They're all laughing at me. Then the band's laughing. And so I'm thinking, what have I done that's so funny? And I turn around, I just stopped singing. I turn around and I look, I had a female backup singer. And my drummer, he just kind of took a drumstick and he pointed down at my rear end, and so I'm facing the audience and the whole seat of my suit is torn out. And I didn't realize it. And so I'm facing the audience with the whole rear end torn out of my of my suit, and everybody got it. So after I got after I got done with that song, I kind of crabbed off the stage and took a break and changed to costumes. That's a true story.
What is your favorite song that you love singing? One of Elvis's.
What's my favorite song?
Yeah,
It'd be of me singing, of me singing. Uh, you know, it'd have to be one of his gospel songs. He's got a couple of songs. Help me, help me is a gospel song. It's inspirational. As
yeah.
a matter of fact, it's on the UK Ignition Country Radio right now with Colin Pettit.
All right.
That's probably one of my favorite songs that I do. Those.
Yeah, yeah. What is your prized possession of Elvis that you have?
Well, I have an autograph and I have a scarf, and neither one of them obtained by me personally. Um, the autograph came from Miss Lil Thompson that owned the Western Steakhouse and Lounge that I was telling you about. She gave that to me one night, and she said she thought I deserved to have it. It's autographed on the back of a dealership card right there in Memphis, the Ford Lincoln Mercury dealership. Her son was a salesman there, and Elvis came in there one of many times, and he bought a Lincoln this particular day, and he signed a business card for everybody that was there, and he gave everybody commission on the car. He made sure everybody made money on it. But anyway, I've got that card, that business card with Elvis's autograph on it, and the scarf that I have, and a ticket stub came from Roberts Stadium in Evansville, Indiana, in 1974. And a lady attended that. That was a fan of mine. She's passed now. But at the time, she gave me the scarf and ticket stub, and she said, I want you to have this. She said, I think you deserve it. And she said, I want you to know I just about killed 3 women to get this scarf from him. And she's and at the time she was terminally ill, and she was a huge fan of mine, very sweet lady, and she gave me this scarf and ticket stub. So that scarf, ticket stub, and that autograph is the most obviously the prized possessions that I own that pertain to Elvis, and those will go to my daughters, my kids when I'm gone.
Have you ever been to Graceland?
Oh, many, many, many times.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Many people say to me, like ETAs who's gone there, they said soon they've gone into the door, they feel like, that Elvis is there. You know what I mean?
Right, right.
Do you get that?
Well, yeah. I mean, you kind of feel that little era about the whole aura thing when you walk in. That you get to thinking about, but I've been fortunate over the years. I've played music with the Jordanaires, DJ Fontana. Um, Miss Mary was a personal friend of mine, and I've heard stories on top of stories, personal stories about Elvis that I don't have time to share here. But uh, so when I went in there, I could picture a lot of things that went on in that house that I knew that went on personally, and I could picture him doing different things that I was told that he did. That was a lot of funny things. Most of it was funny and humorous. So I really, uh, I kind of captured the aura, so to speak, the whole experience when I was there. Of what it was like. With the
Yeah,
whole group there with Elvis. I could. It could be. I mean, it was kind of like a fairy tale land, somebody else to
yeah.
live in.
Also, it was a fairy tale when you sang with the Jordanaires, wasn't it?
Oh, it was awesome. It was awesome.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And what came to that then? What happened there? How did you get to do that then?
Well, Ray Walker's the bass singer of the Jordanaires, and he's still alive, and I'm still in touch with Ray. And so Ray and I became friends. And Gordon Stoker is actually from my hometown, which is about 8 miles from where I live right now. Gordon Stoker, I knew as well. My mother actually knew him before I did, but I got hooked up with the Jordanaires actually through my mother. So um, we done a couple of shows together, recorded some songs together, and actually Ray, I guess Ray's 85, 86 now, but him and I actually did a show about 7 years ago, 7, 8 years ago.
Mm, mm. Did you feel when you were kind of like singing with the Jordanaires? Did you think that Elvis was there too?
Well, I don't know. That's been a while back. I just kind of imagine what it was like, uh, with them on stage with Elvis, because I've seen films, when they recorded with him and was on stage live with him, like in the Ed Sullivan Show, and Gordon Stoker in particular. Gordon was really, really a good friend to Elvis, and Gordon just idolized Elvis, and I look back still once in a while at some of those shows, like say Ed Sullivan and Gordon. He just eyeballs Elvis, and just he has this grin on his face, like he's just so proud of him. Uh, those guys really thought a lot of Elvis.
Yeah, yeah. If Elvis kind of like if you met Elvis today, if you went into like the steakhouse and he was there eating the steak and whatnot, what would you say to him?
I don't know. I honestly don't know. I like to talk, so I'd probably keep his ear burned up pretty pretty good.
What?
I would probably pick his brain a lot about religion, and which I kind of knew what he thought about on religion and stuff like that. But
I,
because
do you do you
Elvis was,
believe? Do you
sir,
believe in? Do you have a faith?
absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
I was raised just like Elvis was actually.
All
Yeah.
right. Okay. Okay. Um, so do you think with your music and everything, what you do, because you record some songs also,
Uh-huh.
which which I like to get into another time with you,
Sure.
because that would be much better. Um, do you think what everything that you've done? Do you think Elvis would be proud of you what you're doing?
I don't think Elvis. Well, yeah, I do. I don't think Elvis never did have anything bad or negative to say about anybody.
Hmm.
But I do think he would probably like some of my material. Like if he were alive, I would pitch it to him, see if he'd record it.
Yeah, yeah. And how about if you kind of like if you were at Sun Records one day and all of a sudden, I'm just saying, I always tell people this. If you were at Sun Records one day and all of a sudden Elvis walked in and he said, "Hey, Kenny, would you like to sing with me?" You know,
Oh,
what
absolutely.
would you
Yeah,
do it?
I'd say yeah. Hook me up a mic, man.
Yeah, well, yeah, there you go. So what? So you got a lot of fans here now. There's quite a lot going on here. So I want the last 10 minutes. I'm gonna kind of like get some questions out of them because they're asking me. So
Sure.
um, here we go. Kenny, love you lots. Marie from Orlando in Florida. Um,
Awesome.
she's she's saying, "Hi, Kenny. If you was on a desert, if you went to a desert island, what would you take with you?
If I was repeat that, please.
If you went to a desert island, if you were on a desert island, what would you take with you?"
If I was on a deserted island, what would I
Yes.
take with me? Well, if I knew I was going to be on a deserted island, I would probably take food, water, and an Elvis CD. I guess.
You forgot the missus.
The what?
You forgot the wife.
The wife. Well, yeah, I guess that would be a good idea. That'd probably be a good idea. But I kind of took that as if I was going to be on there by myself.
Ah, right. Okay.
But yeah,
I
yeah. If
won't
I had a
tell.
choice, I'd probably need to take my wife. That'd be my first choice. Yeah.
Yeah. I won't tell the wife like what you said.
Yeah,
Um.
I'm sure she's done heard that. So.
Yeah. I won't. Don't worry. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Also, it says, do you have any CDs
I
which
do.
I can buy, and how can I do that? So, how can they get some CDs?
They can PM me on Facebook. The best thing to do is join Kenny Presley Fan Club page on Facebook. It's free, and just PM me or leave a message on the fan club page. If I don't get it, Melinda Wallace will get it. She's my fan club president. She keeps an eye on it pretty well every day, and so she'll get it and let me know. And I'm in the process of making CDs as we speak. So yes, the best thing to do is join Kenny Presley Fan Club page so you can get merchandise, have CDs and T-shirts and pictures. And by the way, when they buy something, I always send out pictures with it. You don't have to
Good.
buy a picture.
Oh, good. So if I
Yeah,
buy a CD, I'll get a picture.
always. Yeah,
Good, good. Huh? Well, hey, everybody, make sure you get your CDs and you get a picture too. You can put it up
absolutely.
on the wall. What I remember when my first girlfriend, and she used to be a Cliff Richard fan, and I remember when I used to went into her bedroom once, and I said to her, "Who do you love most, me or Cliff?" And she said, "Of course, Cliff. He's on my wall." And I was thinking, should I be here? And I tell you what, if it was a window open, I would have gone. I would have just jumped out the window and gone.
You're
But
right.
but there you go. Beverly wants to know, do you what do you think of this gospel music?
I love his gospel music more than any of his music, and I think Elvis probably did too, in my opinion. Um, Elvis only got 3 awards in his lifetime, and all 3 was for his gospel music. And nobody could deliver a song like Elvis Presley did, and he was real spiritual. person, and that's what they did late at night and like early wee hours in the morning is set up and sing gospel music,
Yeah.
which everybody knows that is a fan. So,
Yeah.
yeah, I love his gospel. Matter of fact, I listen to the gospel hour about every Sunday morning on XM radio. So
Good. Good. Um. Also, what's your favorite Elvis film?
that'd be hard to say because I never was a fan of his movies, and I know that's hard to believe.
Why is that? Why is that? I asked every ETA that, and they said, "Oh, he was, his films are not that good."
I honestly don't know. I've watched, I probably haven't seen all of his movies. I know I haven't. And Elvis wasn't a fan of them either. And the tunes, most of the tunes that he recorded in them, he didn't care for.
Mm.
But I couldn't really tell you. I just never got into the movie. And I can't say I haven't sat and watched several of them in the past years, but I just wasn't. As far as telling you a favorite one, I really couldn't. Probably Loving You, maybe, or Speedway. I
Uh,
don't. I couldn't really tell you a specific one, just to be honest.
yeah, yeah. Patricia's saying here, "What's your favorite food?"
My favorite food. Wow. Well, I don't really have a favorite food. I'm kind of a health eater, so I stay on a lot of turkey and fish and stuff like that. I kind of stray off of that once in a while. We got a place over here that's local that cooks a mean burger. They've got it's like really really unique. It's the only place on earth you can get this style burger. So when I fall off the wagon of my health diet, that's where I go, and that's probably my favorite food.
God, I've got loads of burgers in me at the moment. Um, what else? What else is it? Oh, all right, okay. How many costumes have you got?
Oh, I don't know. Right now, I've probably got 6 or 7. Um, I've had many over the years. Of course, they've all over the years as you use them, they get worn out, and then you kind of your waist kind of outgrows a couple here and there. And but right now, I've probably got a half a dozen.
Edwin says hi.
Hi, Edwin. It's good to thank you for having me and hooking me up here. I appreciate you guys.
Yeah, they're good. Yeah. Um, and also, nearly finished. If you kind of like when you're on tour, when you do touring and things like that, what places are the best and what places are not the best?
Well, they're all good. Uh, I haven't played any bad places. I haven't
You're
bad
being
played.
careful what you're saying, ain't you? So, Kenny, look, listen to me. Um, let's go for the bad one first. You
But
must have been to some places in your time
uh,
which you think, oh my gosh,
I
what am I
have,
doing here?
I have. It's been a
Okay,
while.
so tell us about it then.
Well, I've been in the past. I've been into some real rough places. I mean, like to where you got to keep your guard up because a beer bottle might come flying by your head and things like that. You need to play inside a cage or chicken wire to keep from getting hit by a beer bottle. And other than that, I can remember one experience. One time I was invited to this place, and this place had a great name. Is what the irony of this story is. It had a really good name for entertainment. Well, the person that owned this place invited me to come and play with their band. He said, "We've got the greatest band." He said, they don't have any problem playing your music or anything, and we want you to come and sit in with us." And so we went in and sat down at a table. And when the band got up there, not not putting any musicians down by any means, but they were the worst I've ever heard in my life. And my mother was with me, my stepfather, and I looked over at her, and after because they was kind of like doing their thing, and I looked over at her, and she looked at me with the same look, and I said, "We got to get out of here." So I dodged a bullet. I was really rude, and I couldn't help it, but I just I exited the building. It was an embarrassing moment, but that happened. I just couldn't help it. There's no other choice.
What's your best place you ever been to?
The best place? Probably Las Vegas. That I ever played? You mean every
Yeah,
show?
yeah,
Yeah, probably in Las Vegas. Yeah.
yeah. How many people?
4,000 maybe.
4,000 people.
Yeah.
And you went on stage with 4,000 people.
Oh yeah. Well, you know what? Let me retract that. Yes, I was, but there was one year I went out on a train. This was back in the '90s, and it was called the Santa Claus Express. And this was in December. It was a Christmas train. It was decorated up. It had a half a dozen or so cars. Like the tanker was all decorated. It looked like a big old candy cane. They had a flat car with Santa and his reindeer on it, and it had the caboose was everything. It had thousands of lights on this train, thousands, and one flat car was fixed up for entertainers. Well, I was the headliner for the entertainers on this thing. We played 52 towns in 6 weeks, believe it or not. Now
Gosh.
we done whistle stops of about 20 to 30 minutes long after from dark till around midnight every night. But now we would play to crowds back then of anywhere from 5 to 20,000, depending on the size of the town. But we would roll into towns, and if it was a big town, say like Tulsa, there would be people as far as you could see. And we would stop and we would entertain them. And, we had Frosty and Santa and his elves and all that on there. And they'd get out in the crowd while I was singing, and they'd throw out candy. On that tour, they gave away like 8 tons of candy. And it was that was probably the most fun and amazing thing that I've ever done. And
Yeah,
it didn't really pay that much, but it was a heck of a good time.
yeah. Whereabouts are you at the moment in the charts?
Mm-hmm.
Whereabouts? What number are you in the charts?
On Ignition Country, last night I looked and it was number one. I've got a song on there is number one. I'm working on a new song. When I get it done, I'm going to shop it to the country charts in Nashville. It's really a good song. It's called "Between the Shoulders of the Road." And
All right.
yeah, it's kind of in the works right now, but it's really a great song.
Yeah, because you are at the moment number one in the charts. What do you think about that then?
It's awesome. I appreciate everybody, and uh, I want to thank Colin Pettit for helping me and putting me on his radio, and everybody that votes. And it's really awesome. I really appreciate everybody very much.
Yeah. If you come back anytime, would you be able to sing for us?
Absolutely.
Okay. And because I get a lot of people here say, "Can you ask him to sing for us? Can you ask him to sing, 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 sing?"
Well,
And I'm
I appreciate that. If I didn't know that I would have had the opportunity to sing on this interview, I would have been set up for it. But everything shut down, and it would
don't
take a
worry
bit.
about it.
It'd
Don't
take a
worry
bit to
about it.
fire it up. Okay.
I've got a Mando here saying, "Can you sing a bit of Acapulco?"
Acapulco?
Well, just sing like as you sing, just sort of normal singing.
Oh,
Sing a song.
acapella. Acapello.
Acapello.
She asked me to sing.
It's me.
I was thinking of
Acapulco.
fun in Acapulco. I
Sorry,
had
someone
fun
said
in
to me.
Acapulco.
Sorry, somebody said to me just now. They said my film is it's a film about Acapulco. So I was speaking to somebody about it. So
Acapella. They want to hear a little acapella, right?
yeah, sorry, yeah.
Okay.
Uh,
Love me tender, love me sweet, never let me go. You have made my life complete, and I love you so. Love me tender, love me true, all my dreams fulfill. For my darling, I love you, and I always will.
there you go, everybody. And everybody's asking me, when are you doing your next Facebook Live?
I might do something tomorrow evening. It's going to rain here all day.
There you go, folks. So stay tuned for that. Kenny, thank you very much.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you very much for your time. And can I just ask you to go on my Crossroads page and leave a review because I'm learning at the moment about interviewing.
Okay.
Okay. And it'd be great if you can come back sometime and I don't know, I can kind of like because I've got a radio station too, and we can get you on there too live.
Okay,
Do some
awesome.
songs for us.
Sounds good. Appreciate you having me. I've had a lot of fun.
Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank
I'm
you.
so grateful.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good night. Good night, everybody.
Here you go. That was Kenny. Savink, what I think about Elvis is this that his music will live on, and people like Kenny and other ETAs need to be recognised for that because through all the times we had this COVID problem. So when it's on again, make sure that you join him. Make sure you support him. And if you got, buy a CD, buy a T-shirt, buy what you can to support him because we're going through bad times at the moment. Anyway, guys, good night. God bless. Thank you for watching. And if anybody wants to be on the show and anything, please contact me, and I'll have a space for you. Okay, we'll be back tomorrow with 4 new guests. But in the meantime, good night. God bless. Take care. Good night, everyone.